Yeah, I just got banned from Skyblock in that clip. So let's go back to the very beginning though. Where does this all start?
Look, I know you're not following what I'm saying anyway, right? That's okay, that doesn't matter. The real question is this: was all this legal? Absolutely fucking not. But we were making more money than we knew what to do with.
Yeah, so I got banned from Skyblock. Twice. How did this all happen? Well, first, I need to explain what the programs did. And also, do I even have the files anymore? I mean, it's been years since I've touched the game, and I've been banned for so long, Oh. I still have the files. So, what even is a market? What defines a market? How can I say that this silly block game can even equate to the complexity of the stock market? Well, first, a market is a place where parties can gather to facilitate the exchange of goods and services. Yeah, watch out, Benjamin Graham. I might just rewrite the intelligent investor. One aspect in Hypixel Skyblock is the auction house. The auction house is a place where people can buy and sell items to other players by creating two types of listings. There are auction items and buy it now items. Auction items means that the buyers can continuously bid on the item and the price will go up. Fair and simple. The pros are you're most likely to get a fair price for the seller and you can set a price floor. The cons are it takes a long time to sell and buyers have to wait. Buy it now items let the user set a price for an item to be bought instantly. Pros are it's fast for the buyer and seller. The buyer can instantly buy and receive the item, and the seller will instantly receive their profit. Cons are you can easily underprice an item, misclick, and lose out on a ton of profit. Hypixel Skyblock takes a long time. Long time. So players are always trying to expedite things by not having to wait for crucial items. Oftentimes people just buy from the buy it now because it's more convenient. Now let's say Timmy tries to sell an item for 10,000 coins, but he misses a zero. Oh no. Timmy listed his product for 1,000 coins. It would be a real shame if Skyblock's auction house API was just open and someone could easily find that item, compare it to items that are similar, and buy the item for a huge discount. Code time. I'd first like to start saying that a majority of parts of this code is not mine. It is a fork from another repository. I'd like to thank CSJH for the beginning parts of the logic. So first we see a reforge list. We just remove uniqueness from items, so they're all the same names. Then we have our actual logic for checking the average price between each object. We just store that in a map. And I created this fetch coffle to check for median price, specifically to avoid items where they're skewed right, where the mean is manipulated higher than its actual median price. I'll get more to that later. And then the rest is just fetching data asynchronously. This next part of the code is just the automatic input. Majority of the logic is the exact same for fetching good items. All this does, it automatically inputs them. So you'll see how I hit T, Control, Enter. I have some pixel checks for which window I'm in, and then some random clicking just to avoid the cheat detection. Lastly is the Java code. So I ran into issues with fetching from the Hypixel Skyblock API while in the game. So I would set up a local Flask server and that'll send me the UUIDs. More on that later, but you'll see how I have a lot of get player items, get items in windows, clicking on item windows, and I also didn't have a lot of random sleeps, which definitely impacted why I got banned. So more on the price skewing. So we can see here the hound pet. The prices are skewed rightward here because the price I paid was 300,000, but the buy it now right now is 200,000. So someone basically bought up all the hound pets for cheap and sold them for 300,000. So the average was much higher than the median. That's why I made that median price check. So the full flow of the Minecraft mod is we would have Python, which would run a Flask server, which will send UUIDs to. And every time a UUID changed, my program will just instantly buy it. So all the logic is done in the Flask server, and this Minecraft mod just listens and then runs when needed. End code time. So this is an example of the output of the first program. So first we have the UUID, which gets pasted in, the item name, item price, and the second lowest bin to see what you can sell it at, and a time to refresh the bazaar just for some error checking. Given this, it'll automatically copy the view auction URL and you'll just manually paste it in. So here are 2 videos of the auto input program. So here's a failed one where it just couldn't buy it fast enough. And then here's a successful one where it is able to buy it. It's not able to buy it fast enough because I believe other people are sniping these items with mods. So that's why I created the Java mod. So this is an example of the Java mod. I ran this without the Flask server, just a manual input, and you'll see it's very fast, at least compared to the auto input. So I left the Python auto input portion on a few nights and I never got banned. And I also saw that I got a lot of good flips. I think in total I made over 100 million in less than a week. I think I started with 300 million, but that's still a 30% gain. This is pretty short-lived. After trading with the Minecraft mod for a few hours, I saw a weird menu pop up on the screen. My bot just kept clicking and eventually did get banned. Yeah, it's pretty silly of a project. It was a great experience though for learning Python, Request, Minecraft modding, Java, a little bit of Flask, but the code is all in this repo I have. There's 3 branches, one for the Python program without the auto input, just the median price check, one with the Python program with the auto input, and one with just the Minecraft mod. The Flask server isn't there, so it's a work in progress for the next person, but it shouldn't be too crazy to just push to a Flask server some UUIDs and then run the checks. So the median price checker didn't take too long to implement. I was very junior at the time when I made it, but the actual Python auto input did take a long time. It took multiple days, tons of hours to verify things like items, item position, colors, pixels, so many random things. And for the Minecraft mod, this took even longer. I know it's relatively junior coming from me, but I only really coded in Python and JavaScript up until now. I never used Java for my own projects. So using this was a huge change. I had to learn Model View Controller at a pretty young time, and the people, to say the least, were not that helpful. I would ask in the Forge discords and a lot of other modding discords, but they did give me advice because it was classified as cheating. For the next person who wants to pick up this Minecraft mod, I think you can add things like random delays between clicks and also just a kill switch. Things like kill switches for if the menu is not the right menu. Let's just say that for some reason Watchdog gives you a menu, it won't click in that. It's a little bit of a complicated task, but the code should be there. So what did I learn from this? I was relatively junior at the time and had not taken a statistics class yet, but I got a bit introduced into variance as well as standard deviations and skewed distributions, specifically for checking why mean prices might be higher than the median. I also learned a very basic bit of markets, so things like volume and liquidity. I think for the next project, I would have made a market manipulation bot where I'd buy up very high volume selling items with low liquidity and then price them much higher, basically taking the other side of the median versus mean trade. End of the day, this game isn't actually about finding alpha and mispricings on a random Minecraft market, but it's actually about having fun in the game, which is relatively foreign, but to each their own. This was my first look into markets and I guess you could call it trading. I got deeper into options, arbitrage, and now I'm currently doing prediction markets. Feel free to watch my prediction market video here and check out my portfolio for more info about me. Lastly, I am a college student. I'm relatively busy, but feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions on this program, any of my other projects, or you'd like to give me an internship.